What happens if the US prepares for the ultimate strike on Iran, but traditional Middle Eastern allies refuse to help? Right now, in the shadows, Iran is quietly rebuilding its shattered nuclear fortresses under the cover of nationwide protests. But American satellites are watching. Washington isn't planning a simple warning shot anymore. They are preparing a massive, multi-phase decapitation strike designed to end the threat permanently. This is exactly how America's new, devastating attack strategy on Iran unfolds. If key nations like Qatar and Saudi Arabia deny airspace due to political constraints, the US faces a staggering logistical nightmare. The military must activate its backup plan, bypassing the immediate region entirely and launching from European bases in Greece and Bulgaria, or remote islands like Diego Garcia. To cross these massive distances, the military deploys an armada of flying gas stations. Dozens of KC-135 Stratotankers create a floating bridge, allowing fighter jets to refuel mid-air. Without them, the strike simply cannot happen. But before a single jet drops a bomb, the war begins in total silence. This is Phase 1, the blackout. High above the Earth, Space Force operatives use the highly classified Silent Barker satellite constellation to jam Iranian communications. Simultaneously, US Cyber Command triggers pre-planted malware deep within Iran's power grid. In seconds, Tehran is plunged into darkness. Air defense radars flicker and fail, and the Iranian leadership is left blind, deaf, and panicked. With the enemy disoriented, the US Navy sets a brilliant and deadly trap. They launch hundreds of miniature air-launched decoys. To an Iranian radar operator staring at a chaotic screen, these look exactly like a massive squadron of incoming F-15s and F-16s screaming toward the capital. The bait is taken. Iranian radars light up to track the invasion force. That is the exact moment they die. Flying silently in the shadows, stealthy F-35s and F-22 Raptors lock onto those electromagnetic signals, unleashing advanced anti-radiation missiles to completely dismantle the defense network. At the same time, from the waters of the Persian Gulf and the Arabian Sea, Arleigh Burke-class destroyers open their vertical launch cells. Dozens of Tomahawk cruise missiles erupt into the sky. Flying at subsonic speeds and hugging the terrain in a nap-of-the-earth flight path, they slip beneath the radar horizon to smash into remaining S-300 and S-400 command bunkers, carving out a safe corridor for the pilots. Now the sky is cleared for the heavyweights. Enter the B-2 Spirit stealth bomber, the tip of the spear. Taking off from the secure island of Diego Garcia, positioned safely out of reach of Iran's 1,800-mile ballistic missiles, the B-2s penetrate hostile airspace undetected. Their targets are deep, underground nuclear facilities like Fordo. Because Iran has poured deeper concrete over these bunkers, the Air Force executes a devastating tactic known as double tapping. A B-2 drops a 30,000-pound GBU-57 bunker buster. Using gravity and lattice fins, it buries itself up to 200 feet underground before detonating, blowing open the reinforced blast doors. Seconds later, a second bomber drops another massive bomb directly into the exact same crater. The second blast travels vastly deeper, collapsing the mountain from the inside out. Following the bombers, squadrons of F-15E Strike Eagles roar into the theater, acting as bomb trucks, hunting down mobile ballistic missile convoys hiding in the valleys. The US forces must remain vigilant, as Iran will fight back with deadly, asymmetric warfare. This includes deploying swarms of fast attack boats, dropping smart mines into the Strait of Hormuz to spike global oil prices, and launching massive waves of suicide drones. Stealthy, diesel-electric midget submarines will sit silently on the shallow seafloor, waiting to ambush US supercarriers. But by combining space dominance, cyber warfare, and the heaviest conventional ordnance on Earth, the US aims for total overmatch. The final phase targets the regime's survival itself, striking command centers and underground missile cities in the Zagros Mountains, burying their arsenal before it can ever be used.
But the consequences of such an operation
Would ripple far beyond Iran's borders. The moment the first missile strikes, global oil prices would skyrocket overnight. The Strait of Hormuz, through which 20% of the world's oil flows, would become a war zone. Shipping lanes would shut down, and economies from Europe to Asia would feel the shockwave within hours. Iran's allies would not sit idle. Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, and Shia militias across Iraq would unleash coordinated retaliatory strikes against American bases and allied targets across the Middle East. The region would erupt into a multi-front shadow war, stretching US forces to their absolute limit. And even if every bunker is destroyed, every radar dismantled, and every missile convoy eliminated, the knowledge to rebuild a nuclear program cannot be bombed out of existence. The scientists, the blueprints, the expertise, they survive. Which means this would not be the end of the story. It would only be the beginning of the next chapter. The real question is not whether America can execute this strike. It's whether anyone is truly prepared for what comes after.